So I'm about to find out whether the days of compact cameras, point and click shooters are dead thanks to phones like this, the Huawei P20 Pro, which has 3 lenses inside. Are these phones making point and click cameras obsolete? We're about to find out. So here's the first photo taken on the P20 Pro of Old Town in Dubrovnik that some of you might know as King's Landing in Game of Thrones. And as you can see, it's a really nice photo, and the AI on the P20 is actually enhancing that blue. When I took this photo, it recognized blue skies. So you're seeing a slightly modified picture here, and if we zoom in on the same picture, you can see the amount of detail it's actually picking up on those rooftops. You can even see people in the street on the left hand side of the picture. I'm really impressed with this first photo taken on the P20. Now here's the same photo taken from the same spot at the same time on the RX100 Mark VI. Now this isn't adding any artificial colors onto it, and you can see it's a much more natural picture. And if we zoom in, you can see the details are just crazy in this picture. Much more true to life image in my opinion, but I must say it's pretty close. Now here's another photo taken in King's Landing, and you can see here both photos really nice. The P20 looks like something you would see on Instagram, and that's thanks to the AI feature adding in more color again. On the right with the RX100 you see a much more natural picture, but the biggest difference here is when you zoom in and you can see the level of detail that the P20 isn't picking up. And the RX100 is just doing an amazing job here, and that is because of the larger image sensor, and I know that, and I know it's not a fair comparison, but what I really want to see in this video is, are smartphones actually getting closer to cameras like this? And you can see here in this aspect, not so much. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So here's a photo taken from the walls of King's Landing, and the sun was getting real low, guys, and just keep that in mind before you leave a horrible comment. But anyway, the P20 Pro, again with the AI feature, recognizes it's a sunset. It actually popped up on the screen, and you can see what it's doing here is really enhancing that orange color across this photo. Really nice. This would do really well on Instagram. And then if you look at the same photo taken on the RX100, it's a much more natural picture. No filters on there at all. That is actually how I remember it. It's a colder picture, but there's so much more detail in this photo. And let me know what you guys think. Which photo do you like better? The natural kind of feel, or do you like that artificial kind of enhanced feeling in the photo? Both are really good in my opinion, but I think the RX100 did a lot better here. So my plan after taking these 2 photos was to head over to some of the other Game of Thrones stuff like the House of the Undying and the Mudgate, but unfortunately I didn't make it. Right, so I apologise for this little intermission. Unfortunately, I got kicked off the Great Walls in the old city because I stopped to get a beer to watch the sun getting real low. And I apologise, don't get too angry guys. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the House of the Undying. I did try to get some photos of the Mudgate for you guys, but it was so damn crowded. It was like near enough impossible. And then there was a fortress on the other side as well, which I got some shots from the restaurant opposite, but that was also closed by the time I got kicked off the wall. So I really apologize. But anyway, enough of the intermission. Let me know what you think of the 2 cameras. I fully expect the RX to be better, but how close is the P20? And is it even better in some aspects? Let me know in the comments below. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Anyway, let's carry on. So the P20 Pro gets glowing reviews for its low light photography. So I took a couple of shots from the same spot that I did earlier on in the video. And you can see here, this is the Old Town King's Landing at night. And I must admit, the lights seem to be blowing out the whites on the photo quite a lot. There's quite a lot of blurring going on in this picture. And if you look at the same one on the RX100, it's definitely handling the light a lot better. If we look at it side by side, you can see what I mean in the level of detail you're getting there on the RX100. But from a distance, the P20 photo does look all right. And the P20 does have a night mode, but it requires you to keep the camera really still, and it's basically impossible to do with your hands unless you've got a tripod there. Maybe I could have used the night mode, but at this point I'm just using the auto mode on both the phone and the camera. So here's a photo I took in a really bright lighting condition of the UE Blast, which was my speaker of choice this holiday. And you can see there, taken on the P20, does a pretty good job. The brightness is taking some of the color out of the blue in the speaker. The rocks have a lot of detail in there. Background is quite blurry. And if you look at the same photo on the RX 100, a much brighter picture. The AI on the P20 seemed to be adding a bit more orange into the rocks, and you can see that especially when you put them side by side. One thing I'll say about this photo, if I were to put both of these on Instagram, the P20 might actually win this one, but in terms of detail, RX 100 for me is doing better here. So this is a camera zoom test using the zoom feature on the RX 100. And as you can see, when it zooms in, it's really smooth and steady, and it takes a second or so just to focus in, but it's really focusing in on the casing and not so much the headphones here. By the way, these headphones are awesome and I'm going to be doing a review soon. Here's the same test with the P20 zoom feature, and you can see it's much more jerky as it zooms in. But what really surprised me here is once it zoomed in, it actually got a really nice focus on the headphones themselves. I'm really impressed with that actually. Let me know what you guys think. And here's another photo taken on the P20. Again, it recognized the blue sky, so you're seeing that punchy blue color in this photo. Really great detail in this one as well. And pay attention to the clouds right there at the back above the mountains. And the same photo shot on the RX 100. Same thing again. You're getting a much more true to life photo with the RX 100. And again, if we look back at the clouds that I mentioned earlier, you can see there's so much more detail there in the sky in comparison to the P20. But both did a fantastic job in my opinion. And here's the same photo taken at night, and again the AI features on the P20 recognized it was a night shot. It didn't use that longer exposure feature, the night mode, because I didn't have a tripod. It's just using the auto mode, but it did a good job there. There's a bit of blurring around the street on the left hand side of the photo. If you look at the same photo on the RX 100, you got again so much more detail, much more true to life, and just generally a brighter photograph. And here's another low light shot that I took in Old Town. I think this might have been used in Game of Thrones for the flea bottom scenes. And I used auto mode again on both of these. The P20 photograph did pretty good, but look how much more details on the walls on the left and right on the RX 100. And I have to say the RX 100 does a million times better here. Just look at the steps and the detail on the concrete on the floor. It just blows it out of the water in this particular test. Alright, so sun's getting real low guys, and I know I'm comparing a really awesome compact camera to a smartphone, and it's not fair really, but anyway, it's time for the sound test, so let's do this. Warriors, come out to play. It's not working. Oh shit.
Warriors, come out to play.
Camera focus test. Let's see which one of these can focus in on the beer the quickest. So in this test I'm quite surprised that the P20 at the same distance from the glass as the RX 100 just could not focus on the beer at all. So here's a panoramic photo that I took, and actually for some reason the RX 100 just stopped shooting. I didn't do anything, I didn't touch any buttons, it just stopped. And you can see the difference here. Both photos look really good. When you're kind of making these panoramic, you're kind of going to lose a little bit of detail anyway. So I must say, I think maybe the P20 wins this one. Maybe that's just down to my amateur photography skills. I don't know. A little bit of a glitch there, Sony. Maybe it's something you want to look into if you're watching this video. So here's another photo taken in the evening at King's Landing, and you can see it's a really nice photo. If you put this on Instagram, it'd do really well. The AI again is kicking in, and it's enhancing those kind of oranges and blues in the photo. The people in the foreground and on the ground, you can't see that much detail in them, especially when you compare it to the RX 100. You can actually see all those people there and the colors of their clothing really clearly. It's not enhancing the photo with blues and oranges, so you're getting the much more true to life colors on the brickwork and in the sky as well. If we put them side by side, you'll see what I mean there. And if we zoom into that tower in the back, you can see the difference in the level of detail. But if it came to an Instagram photo, which one do you think would get more likes? Let me know in the comments below. So I know this test is really unfair since the Sony uses the primary camera as the selfie camera. Because of the adjustable screen on it, I can flip it all the way around. So you're getting that primary camera on the RX100 versus the selfie cam on the P20. Completely unfair, I know. But if you want to take a selfie with that sort of beauty effect that the P20 has, maybe it's going to show you in a better light. And you can see the difference here. There's a much more true to life photo on the right. I look really sweaty because it was so damn hot. And then on the left, you don't see it so much, and I look like I got a better tan too. So maybe for this type of photography, phones are already better than compact cameras. I know that's quite a controversial statement, but let me know what you guys think. I know I could add filters onto the RX photo later, but some people just can't be bothered to do that. So here's the last photo that I took for you guys. This one on the P20 Pro, recognizing it's a sunset, and again adding in those oranges, but the detail on the sea looks really, really good as well. Good detail in the sky, really nice gradient of colors back there in the sky. Same photo on the RX100, just a natural picture. Really, really nice picture. Yes, you can put this in Adobe Lightroom and make it look the same as the P20, but generally speaking, far more detail, far more true to life, and a great photo overall. So that's it for this camera shootout between the world's finest at the moment compact camera and the first ever triple camera smartphone, the P20 Pro. So what do you guys think? Does the P20 Pro even come close to a camera like the RX100? Maybe the ease of use and the automatic filters and AI just make it an easier camera to use? Or do you prefer the quality and the detail you get from the RX100, which is a standalone camera? It doesn't do anything else other than video and photo. I'd love to know what you guys think and your opinions. Are compact cameras soon to be extinct? I've left a little poll above this video so you can actually choose which one won. And I just want to say thank you to you guys for watching this video, and hopefully you just subscribed, which means you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And don't forget to turn on the notifications to make sure you don't miss more content like this in the future. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one, so don't be late.
Sun's getting real low. Sun's going down.